Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Craig, and we are currently in Australia.
Yes, but 2 years ago, we travelled around Southeast Asia.
It was a hot and sweaty time, but we kept a podcast journal of our thoughts and feelings, the run up to it, during, and the eventual finale of our trip there.
Yes.
And we thought it was lost to time, but we have found it, and we thought it would be a good time capsule to put up on our YouTube channel. So here it is, the latest of our old podcast.
Enjoy.
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 9. Episode 9 of the Sun-Soaked Couple podcast. I am one of your hosts, Craig, wearing this dashing floral shirt. I am joined by my co-host and partner in crime, Amy.
Hi.
How are you today? You alright?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah?
Tired.
Yeah, tired.
Excited, sad, emotional, happy. Just all of the emotions.
A smorgasbord,
Yeah.
some may say.
Yeah.
Yeah? Why are you all those things?
Well, today is our last full day in Thailand, which is sad because we really, really enjoyed it. But I am excited because very early hours of tomorrow morning we will be flying to Cambodia, which, again, how can you not be excited about that? But I don't know. And there's the future. There's just loads of things happening right now that, you know, is scary and fun, and for an overthinker and a worrier who has definitely quietened those thoughts and worries to a certain extent, this is definitely a flared moment.
And I'm doing fine.
Alright for some.
No, we've got a lot going on. You're correct, and
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll touch it in the next few episodes also. But today is our last day in Phuket.
Phuket!
So after this, we'll have our final dip in our pool of our hotel,
Yeah,
and then
get some dinner.
get some dinner, and then
Early night.
early night because we have to be up at 3 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Ugh.
Fun times. You can find our journey as it is ongoing on a variety of platforms, whether that's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. What's with the little laugh?
Nothing. just nothing.
Sun-Soaked Couple is where you can find us on all of those platforms. We also have a website called sunsoakedcouple.com. Send us an email. sunsoakedcouple@gmail.com. We want to hear about stuff. Any questions about Phuket or Bali or where we're going?
Or yeah, any recommendations for Cambodia?
Yeah.
We're mainly going to be in Siem Reap. So yeah, just let us know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to get an alternative take because I don't know, but I'm fed up of TikTok videos where it's, OMG, you have to see this place. So yeah, it'll be different to see a written word instead of a video recommendation.
Yeah, that's
wouldn't
true.
it?
That is true.
So today, if you'll allow me,
if I'll allow you.
we will talk about Fifi.
Nah, I won't allow it.
What would you like to talk about instead?
I don't know.
You just know you don't want to talk about Fifi.
No, let's talk about it.
The natives call it Phi.
Pee-pee.
So Phi Island. It's
Yeah.
very hard to keep a straight face sometimes when
Phi-phi.
they're saying, hey, we're going to go to this beautiful Phi, and then they give you drinks that say Phi on them, and you're just like, they got to know, right?
They gotta know.
They got to know about the Phi.
And the poo-poo. Sorry, I've really lowered the tone now. Just
They don't call them Poo Island. That would just be ridiculous. What was your highlight of Phi Fifi?
pee-pee Fifi. I think it was when we got to Kai Island.
So there are multiple islands in Phi. They are the Phi Islands, aren't they?
No, I think Kai is separately to
Okay.
Fifi. Fifi. Fifi is like a mixture of little
Islands?
islands, and then Kai is like 45-minute speedboat.
If Kai is like at the end of your day with your team, that's where they're going to make the money. Just some tiny island that's not big enough for a football pitch,
Yeah.
where they can serve you alcohol.
But the reason why it was my favourite was because we had the snorkel and the goggles and stuff, and we were like going under and looking at all the fish and all the coral, and the fish kept biting you, didn't it?
That was fun, yeah.
We got a video of it. We'll put it here.
Will we? Okay.
Yeah, we'll put it here.
Editors know. Yeah. So I got in there, and then I just felt a nip, and then I was like, "Someone just bit me," and you didn't believe me, and then it happened again, and you still didn't believe me, and I said this and then you just swam out to deeper sea, and I was like, "Well, I'm just gonna get bitten," even though my girlfriend doesn't believe me.
No, it's because I hadn't been bitten. I don't know why they would have picked on you specifically.
I'm
but
pure-blooded. That's what I'm
well,
doing.
Jean or whatever her name was saying that you look nutritious.
That was funny. Yeah. She was just, "Oh, you must be tasty." Like, "Oh, thanks. Yeah, great." That was my guide when I said to her, "I'm being bitten." "Oh, you're tasty. You're nutritious." Oh,
She was
thanks.
great though. She was great. We went with a company called
You can't remember.
Adavir.
Andavir. Sounds right. Very humorous. Very accommodating.
Yes, we had a lovely woman who spoke brilliant English, and yeah, she was great. The whole experience. There was free water, free Coke,
Free food.
free buffet lunch.
You pay your entry fee, and they just look after you for all day whilst you.
I think it was
are in a
like
tour.
£45 per person.
British pounds
Yeah, so it was like 1,900 baht per person
for a tour of
for
PP Island.
like pick up from the hotel, the boat all day, free snorkel and goggles, free teas, coffees, orange juice, biscuits, toast, eggs when we arrived, buffet lunch that had like potato curry, spaghetti with a tomato based sauce, stir fried vegetables, things like this. And we went to Maya Bay, we went to PP somewhere else, and then Kai's Island.
Yeah, so the first island we went to was Tourist Central.
I mean, it was all very, very tourist central. There was so many people, so many boats.
Too many boats.
Yes.
So what happens is, because of human beings being garbage people, they had made the resort just what do they call it? Inhabitable for nature. So now you can't go in the water of this first island that we went to.
Maya Bay,
So-
Maya Beach.
So you park the boat one side, then you go through this tiny crack in a cliff
Yeah.
with a two-person sized footway.
One going in one direction and one coming the other direction.
And when you say one, it is literally single
Yeah,
file.
it is.
So it's just thousands of people, morning till evening, just going in and out.
Yeah.
And our tour group was not the only tour group, and they're different spots. So it's like, we're going to give it half an hour, meet me back here. And then you go off to the beach where it's just the busiest beach you've ever seen, full of people posing and taking photos.
To be fair, the water was like crystal clear.
Crystal.
A nice sandy beach, but there was so many people, and you could go in the water, but you could only go up to like your knees. Basically, you weren't allowed to go in further.
Otherwise, there's a guy with a whistle there, ready to blow it. Yeah.
For quite a while, they'd allowed tourists to swim there and to spend time like on the beach, but
Humans destroyed it.
yeah,
That's
so
literally
the
what our tour
coral,
said.
the coral. There are certain types of sun creams, probably most of them, that have destroyed the coral. There's like elements in the sun cream that destroys it, and so the government were just like, we need to protect this. We need to. So obviously we completely understand their decision. But yeah, it was very pretty though. It was very, very pretty. If you could look past all the people, everyone there trying to get,
The ultimate.
perfect shot.
That is one thing I didn't realise. I've never come across that in the wild, is influencer culture. And wherever you look were just bikini women trying to get the ultimate
Yeah.
photo.
Or like groups of lads posing,
Oh, yeah.
like in their dabbing or whatever.
You're not a dab fan.
No. But
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was just eye-opening to me.
Yeah.
It's just these people that just, their poor boyfriends or partners just... Like, that is the only reason.
you gotta get the right pick.
You just gotta. You just gotta.
You just gotta.
So it was basically, here's a photo op beach, right?
Yeah. And it's also where they filmed The Beach. The film, the Leonardo DiCaprio film The Beach, which I have not seen.
Me neither. What a good way.
But, there'd be a lot of fans of that film, I imagine, that would be like, oh my gosh, Leonardo DiCaprio was
Oh
here.
my god, I love Leonardo DiCaprio, but I'm too old for him.
I'm way too old for him.
Current affairs, tick. So what was the second place?
Oh, that was...
Was that the snorkeling, or was that the monkey bit?
It was the monkey.
Or was it just the swimming bit? I believe the second point we got to was this: they just parked the beach near one of the islands and said, if you want to have a swim, feel free to go and have a swim.
Yeah. So you jumped off the boat. I did a little
You
swimming.
did a little swimming.
Paddleboarding.
I just jumped off the boat multiple times. I really enjoy.
Craig has a thing about liking the thrill of activities.
Thrill of activity.
That's why you went on that slide at Andamanda Water Park where it just drops from underneath you.
That was
And
good
it's the
stuff.
same as jumping off.
Yeah, there's just like that moment when you're weightless.
And you're just like flying,
And you're just like,
but falling.
yes.
Yeah. That was nice, but again, so many boats. The long-tail boats, speed boats, all kinds of boats.
Just boats everywhere.
But that was fun. That was really, really fun. And then...
But that like it's just it was clear, but when you jump in, it was stingingly salty. Like when I jumped in that
Yeah.
water, I was like, my face was on fire.
Yeah, I didn't jump. I have problems with my ears. Although I don't know if it's more of a psychological worry than an actual, a psychological problem than an actual problem. Because, like, my ears, I have very waxy ears, soz, TMI, but I do. And when I go underwater, water can get blocked behind the wax. Sometimes it can cause an infection, but the last time it happened was back in September. We went to Zante, and for the last few days of our holiday, I just had a blocked ear. Luckily no infection, because that is painful, and so I just worry about it a lot, and so I didn't want to jump in. I didn't want to get the salt water in my ears, but in the end it happened, and the water just went in, and luckily they've been fine, and I've got drops that I put in and blah 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 blah. Anyway, you didn't really need to know that, but I feel like you needed some context.
And we've got a perfect clip for your doctor in the future if you need to explain why you don't like your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
So, yeah, I mean...
I jumped off, you didn't.
Yeah.
Then was snorkeling.
Then we went... No, after that, we went to...
Snorkeling.
The first place was snorkeling.
No, the first place we jumped off the boat.
No. The first place... Yeah, we jumped off the first place we went snorkeling. There was two places.
Okay, right. So the first place, really good for the listener. We went to the tourist beach, then we jumped off the boat, went swimming, then we went snorkeling.
At a different place.
Yes. I never said it was the same place.
No, but I can't remember
You can't remember?
where that was.
It was on, it was a quieter part. It
it was near the Viking cave. It was at the Viking cave.
So you recall it
Yes.
now. Very good.
Oh my life.
Making me get heated. Whew.
The Viking cave, for a very long time, they were open for people to just go in. But the government have taken back control of it and has closed it for the public because the birds that are in that cave, they use the saliva
This is what they say.
Yeah,
Our tour guide
to
said,
make to put in certain soups, which is popular in China because it is supposed to make women look younger and more youthful and men to be more powerful. Which I want to be. I don't want to be
You
younger looking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, I'll take younger looking too, but I also want to be powerful. Why does it have to be that way? Why can't men be younger looking and women be more powerful?
It's because, like, it's just social constructs, mate. You know, what is it? Like, a rugged man with age, but then a woman gets told she's got crow's eyes. Is it crow's eyes? Crow's legs?
Crow's feet.
Crow's feet? Hey, all the crow body parts.
Because it's
Honey,
the wrinkles in the eyes.
the crow
crow's
crashed
feet.
into your face.
Yeah, that was good fun. We saw quite a few different fish, but I was still quite tense with my ears at that point, so didn't really.
I had never been snorkeling before, and it takes.
Aww.
Oh.
The first thing, the
Well,
first.
not that I can remember. Maybe I was younger, but yeah.
I've used them before, but I can't remember.
It's
what.
hard to get used to. Because
It is.
it covers your nose, and then you just have to train yourself
Yeah.
not to. Because if you breathe out your nose, your mask just goes out and
Yeah.
water comes in.
And there was one. There was one point I was just holding my breath with the snorkel in, and I came up for air, and I was like,
What am I doing?
"What?"
Yeah, it's like when you put your head in, you just have this mental block because you've done that your whole life. But you've got this little tube
Yeah.
that's like there to help.
Imagine us scuba diving. Like that's a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
That'd be
Anyway,
nice to do.
you'd never been snorkeling before.
Yeah, that was my story.
And it was pretty.
It was, yes, very nice. You get so close to the fish. It's so you just get carried away. It's so mesmerizing because I've never been that close to fish that I can remember. So you're just there, and then you slowly just drift away from your boat, and it's just quite dangerous, really.
Yeah, and you bashed into some rock, didn't you?
I got really close to a
Cut your
rock,
leg.
and it was obviously sharp, and it didn't look as deadly as I thought it was. But then the wave obviously just push.
Yeah.
And then she actually glued it back together, so that was cool.
What, she put glue on it?
Yeah, that's so like obviously I have had many an accident in my time. I once was running at I think it was Alton Towers, the water park hotel thing they've got. So I was running because that's what you do in a wet environment, and then I fell over and scraped my shoulder, and there's still a scar. To this very day, and they put me in first aid, try to patch me up, but obviously I went back out there, the water hits the plaster and then it just falls off.
Yeah.
So she was a proper professional and like alcohol, glued it, plaster.
Yeah.
Didn't really do any much when I
No.
ran back in the water. And that's a little bit about me.
And
sorry.
then we went to Monkey Beach, but it was high tide, so we we couldn't
Dock park.
yeah
Anchor.
because there was the long tailboats can do it because they're smaller and everything, but the speedboats, they would like end up hitting, like basically crashing into the side of the island. But we did see a couple of monkeys in some trees, some on the rocks, but they do say that the monkeys are really good swimmers, and sometimes they like swim out to the boats and stuff, but we didn't get any of that. But yeah, it was cute because we haven't seen any monkeys here yet, so.
Yeah, as long as they are happy and whatever, I'm fine with it. But
I mean, they live pretty wild, so.
I know, but then you see other tourists like on the beach throwing food at them, and it's like you're stupid. But
You're stupid.
you're a stupid person. Is that what you want me to say? Not
Yeah.
not you personally.
But yeah, that was kind of cool. And then that's when, didn't we go to Kai's Beach after that?
It depends
No.
what happens in Kai's Beach.
That was the last place.
then we didn't go there.
Where do we go after Monkey Beach?
We had lunch at 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's really strange because obviously it's a tourist group we are with a tourist company, but it looked like if you're on this tour with any company, there's just there are 3 massive food halls with this buffet, and they just, like, once again, just get people in and out, and it's go up, get your food, sit down, eat, all right, go.
I think, going off topic completely, but just a thought I had, like, I would love, our tour guide, I'd love to have that job. I think I'd really enjoy it, just being in the water all the time, and...
But not your ears.
Well, I'd have to sort that out, but...
But it was in that moment I realised, like, the tour guides, they need to be, got to have energy. They've got to get the people going and pumped. You've got to seem excited. Even though you do that every day, you'll be like, are we all ready? Yeah, come on. Do you think you can have that enthusiasm?
I think so.
Okay. Tour guys also have to wake up quite early, just so you know.
Is what it is, isn't it?
Tis what tis.
Tis what tis.
So the food was alright, buffet style. Being vegetarians, it's always a bit ooh.
Yeah.
But it was okay. That island itself, what was that one called?
That was on PP Island.
That was actual PP Island.
It was on one of the PP Islands.
So you got just a couple shops, and then just to the left, just a cliff that's bigger, like as big as a skyscraper. Like, it's very, very impressive how they can just do the things they do, given that it is just a tiny island.
That's so funny. I just looked up where I took that photo at the restaurant, and if you walk down a bit, there's a McDonald's.
No.
Yeah, look.
That's really cool. Because when you go on the PP Island itself, it looks like it is just remote, isn't it? And I was like, do people live here? And you're like, maybe.
Well, they must do.
But they must do, yeah, if they've got a Macca's there. Oh, we could have had a Macca's. Imagine that, saying, I've had a McDonald's at PP.
Instead, there's a pizza company as
well. And
a
Burger King. Oof.
And a 7-Eleven.
So even though on this tiny remote island, the King and Ronald McDonald both know what to do. You should put the phone away, otherwise you're going to get distracted by all the places we could have visited on this remote island. But it was so hot at this point. The sun is just battering you down, and you have to just go on with it, really. Yeah. I feel like the tour guides, though, they had enough just experience. They knew the right amount of time, so like half hour here, that felt like enough. I would have liked to stayed swimming with the fishes for a bit. That sounds wrong. For a bit longer.
The first fish swim, or the last fish swim.
Either.
Yeah.
But because then we get to the last island after having our food, and it was like, oh, you can drink, party, or just enjoy the sun, or go swimming.
And we were like, let's swim with the fish.
Yeah, and that's where I started to get bitten. Yeah. And you're just like, well, I'm just gonna swim further out. But like, the tide was going out, and I was having real problems, like trying to swim with, like, let's just say there's that much. My arms are that long, and it's not the bottom, but there's just coral. So it's like just a short amount of space between you hitting the coral and the top of the seabed.
I mean, the coral, I knocked it a few places, but the thing you've got to worry about is the urchins, sea urchins, which...
Because you were just like, don't touch them, otherwise you'll die.
I didn't say that. I don't know what will happen, other than the fact that it will really hurt. Don't think you'll die, though.
I've seen, like, in a film when they pull it out and it just starts bleeding straight away. Oh. So there are loads of sea urchins on the coral bed.
So much.
And like where I mostly overhead swim, overhand.
Front crawl.
Well, it's not really a crawl.
No, what's this then?
Isn't that front crawl? That's doggy paddle.
That's doggy paddle. Anyway,
this is a good reason to listen to the video version of the podcast. But I was just overhead, like I could touch them, and I was like, I am freaking out. This feels like some form of claustrophobia. And then also I couldn't stop, because if I stop, the fish bite me. So I was like,
well, there's worse things than just a little fish nip.
Fish nip. You've unlocked someone's fetish somewhere. But who knows what type of fish it could have been? You know. It could
People
have been a
actually
diseased
voluntarily like sit in a thing and let fish eat dead skin off them and all kinds of.
Oh yeah, but isn't that bad for you just in general?
Well, it's a bit unhygienic, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard because that was a big thing in the UK until the government said that's bad for your health, because if you have the little fish nipping at your dead skin, they're not being sterilised properly.
Yeah.
So if someone's got a blood infection, technically that could be passed on
Yeah.
through the fish. I actually know stuff about some stuff. Isn't
I had
that
it done
random?
once when I went to Bulgaria.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's the first and last time.
What was it like?
Weird.
Just like little.
It's
nip,
like you
nip,
can't
nip, nip.
really. It's not like someone's actually like pinching, biting.
pinching.
It's like. I don't know. It's more like they're like sucking it off rather than
Oh.
like biting.
Sucking it off. Not that type of podcast. You okay?
Yeah.
Bleep that. Don't bleep that. Hi, Mum! Do you want to say hi, Dad?
No.
Oh, no.
Dad doesn't even watch these fully anyway. He just skims through it.
So, we get to the last island. I get nipped by loads of fish.
I'm having
and
a
then
great
we go-
time.
You're having a great time, yeah. And then, like, because I'm still getting used to the... What was it? The
Snorkel.
snorkel, like, you know, one wrong move and you're just swallowing water, and that's just not pleasant through. Because you get so reliant on the tube, you forget where you are, and then
I
dunk.
went in too much and then I was like,
It is salt water. Not everyone knows salt water is the worst, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
sandy beaches.
do you
No,
want-
don't get me wrong.
Okay, here we go.
They are beautiful. They look lovely. And, you know, if you're just barefoot walking along, dry feet, fine. The minute your feet get wet, the sand clings to you. The minute you go in the sea, you've got sand all in your swimming costume. You've got it in places it shouldn't be. And then you've got to wait till you can get back to where you're going to have a shower, unless you have shower facilities, then great. But, like... You just get sand everywhere, like everywhere. I had a whole beach in my pants when we got back one day, didn't I? I just like, pulled my pants down and I was just like,
Do you have a beach in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? It's the grit. It's just little gritty bits that you still find ages and ages
like
later.
they're still in the bed. We didn't even wear sandy clothes into the bed, but
It just happens.
sand's in there.
And just also, barefoot is just.
Oh, it's
on some of
so
these beaches.
hot,
It's
isn't
really
it?
funny. It's really funny. But apart from that, you enjoy it, right?
I prefer sea swimming. I don't really like then lazing about, like, getting sand everywhere and being all itchy and uncomfortable. And I feel like I'm a little bit, like, stiff because I'm just, like, trying not to get it worse. But
Yeah, it's inevitable. You put your towel down and you're just like, I'm going to try and keep this pristine as long as I can. And then literally just a guy looks at it and sand's on your towel already.
well, that's
So
why some have... They bought those, like, bigger, like, almost like a picnic blanket. But they're bigger. You can put 2 towels down, and then that way it's less likely to go on the towel.
Picnic. Why would you... Sandwiches on the beach, just don't do it. Right. That's
Any
just
food,
easy.
really.
Yeah. Yeah, or anything. Like, just
Yeah.
get sand everywhere.
Like the
everywhere.
Coke bottle that I had, it was like round the rim, I think. as well, and I was
Nice.
like,
Yeah, I dropped my bottle lid and I was like, well, can't use that anymore. Better
see ya,
drink up.
gone forever.
However, I still picked it up to make sure not to leave rubbish behind me.
Good boy.
I will also tell you, we went to KO-CAD Beach and I did not sun cream my back and front. And I got a little bit burnt after just being in the sea for around 5 minutes.
You were like, quick dip,
Quick
and
dip.
then I'll reapply.
Because I was sandy. I don't want to put sun cream and sand. No one
It's
rub
like an
that in.
exfoliating
Oh, but
salt scrub.
bad.
Sea sand scrub.
Sea salt scratch. I quickly put on some sun cream in PP, and even though it says wait half hour before going outside or jumping in the water or whatever, I was relatively unscathed. So wear sun cream / sunscreen It is good
Yeah.
stuff.
Back to 50 all the way, and we're still tanning.
Well, you're not tanning as much as you'd like, but you are very, very darker now compared to when
Yeah.
you were in the England.
Well, yeah.
Check out the guns. And as you can see, I am still merging into the wall. So, me. But any other thoughts about Fifi? The speedboat itself was fun. That driver was not slowing down for
No.
anything. We got thrown about. It was funny.
It was funny. I think the only thing that I would, now having done it, if I was going to do it again, I think I'd do a private boat tour.
Yeah.
I think I'd spend a little bit more money to go at our own pace. And if we don't want to go, I probably wouldn't go back to Maya Beach. That I don't feel there's any reason to. But all the other places I'd love to go back, swim with the fish, like take it all in and just like be a little bit more in it.
I think doing it yourself, it gives you a bit more freedom as well.
Yeah.
We had to get down to our coach for 8:15. I don't think we left until after 10, like in the actual boat. So there were a few things where it could be a little bit snappier, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know. But if you go at your own pace anyway, it's going to be more leisurely and better, isn't it?
Yeah, oh definitely.
But this was more like, you want to see Fifi? We've got it. Here you go. And then you run into all the groups where everyone wants to run into Fifi. But I also think some of the islands had entrance fees that were waived because we were with our group. It was included in our package.
I really.
Yeah. So pros and cons, really.
Yeah.
But
It depends. If you've got a family and you're going with like younger children or what have you, like getting all these different stops with lunch and making sure there's like free water and food and stuff on the boat that you can eat. I completely understand why that would be easier. Or you could do like that woman and her family. There must have been like 6 kids. And she had like bags of like cooked rice, bags of like fried chicken and stuff like that, and she was just like passing it down her line of kids, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah, and it was all for just that one kid.
It was, but let's not be. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Yeah, I can see the pros and cons. This was more of a, we'll show you everything about PP and what it has to offer. But I was just like, mate, those fishes, I could just snorkel and look at them the whole time. Like, it was just something in my head was like, this is so interesting, getting so close to these fish and stuff like that.
I think if we'd have had a bit more experience with snorkeling up like before, then I would have loved to have done some sort of like scuba diving or something like that, because I think obviously they're 2 very different things, but the
Snorkel?
the scuba diving, you have like a pack on you, and it's like so
oxygen tank.
But so there's similar. You got something in your mouth both ways.
This is a filthy episode, I must say. Tut tut tut.
Unintentionally.
NSFW. So, did you enjoy PP?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you go again? A different experience though.
I would go. I would definitely go again. But like I said, I think I'd do like a private boat tour or something. Or yeah.
Nice. I enjoyed it as well. It was a lot different to the other things we've done round Phuket. And you see all these different things going on in Phuket, and I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Like, we look out our window sometimes and there's people just like gliding in the air and things like that. So there is still much to be offered in Phuket that we did not see.
Yeah.
So you said you want to come back.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah, me too. It's definitely an experience, one that I've enjoyed quite a bit.
Definitely.
Next week we might do a Phuket recap, or we might touch on Cambodia. So we'll wait and see. Yeah, because as of tomorrow we will be in Cambodia, and Phuket will be all but a distant dream. 3 weeks. It's gone pretty quick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we go?
Nope.
Okay, well then that'll do it from me, Craig, and her, Amy. We are the Sunsoaked Couple. Sunsoakedcouple.com. Their Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram is all Sunsoaked Couple. You can send us an email, sunsoakedcouple@gmail.com. Until next time, keep it good. Do you want to do a better sign off? No? Okay. Bye. Do you want to do the intro or should I?
You do it.
No, you need to wait a few seconds. Two ago.
I just didn't think.